Why do you hate baseball, Ben?
I find it just incredibly boring. I don't understand. Like, the most famous guy to ever play the game looked like he had just gotten off the couch to play it. Yeah, Babe Ruth. Notoriously just smoking whole cigars, whacking balls out of the park.
Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is by you. Welcome back to the Underqualified Knuckleheads Sports Podcast, Ball State's premier sports podcast. I'm your co-host, as always, Daniel Keene. Alongside me is Mr. Andy Newman. How did you do today?
Whoa, wow, that was words.
I did the whole rip super well.
Yeah. That was actually really good.
Just went super downhill.
Torpedoed immediately.
Andy, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. I was supposed to not be here today. We're supposed to do this podcast at 11 on Sunday. Because I was supposed to be out filming my documentary that we've talked about before on the pod. Did not happen because it's raining. But you know what? Bad things bring good things. And one of those good things is in the studio with us right now. And his name, if you've been listening to the podcast recently, is one that's been talked about. It is Ben Hamilton. Ben, how you feeling? How you doing?
You know, I almost skipped both my classes today because I woke up with just an awful headache.
Oh.
So yeah, you know, it's nice to be in studio.
Yeah.
We discussed the fact that I am a longtime viewer, first time caller.
There we go. But yeah, glad to have you on the show, Ben. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear some of your thoughts on some stuff that we're going to have here. I know you're a Colts fan, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
I also would in person on record publicly apologize for confusing you with the other Ben that I know who lives 20 minutes north of me back home in Michigan, but you know, all Bens are pretty good people.
Yeah.
You know, I've never met a Ben I don't like.
Yeah, there you go. You know what? No.
Have you ever met a Ben you don't like?
I've never met a Ben I don't like.
There you go.
There are Bens I don't like.
If I met Brent Franklin, I'm sure I would be a huge fan.
Bens I know on like a level. Like you can't just be like, Ben. I don't know. I was trying to say like a famous Ben, but I couldn't.
Ben Franklin.
Yeah.
My brother's name is Ben. I like him a lot.
Benjamin Harrison.
Okay.
No, Benjamin Keene.
Oh.
Benjamin Robert Keene, I think.
Wow.
Damn.
Maybe it's Robert.
Glad I got to know your brother's middle name.
No, well, I think Ben's Robert and Josh is Michael. I don't know.
That's exciting.
What's your brother's middle name?
Tyler.
Wait, everybody, what's your middle name?
Scott.
Christopher.
Asher. Okay, this is
Asher.
Asher.
Huh.
That's crazy.
It's my great grandmother's name. Last name.
What? Oh, I was about to say, I'm like, that's an odd name.
Wait, maybe?
For your great grandma.
Well, no. Well,
hey, what's up, Asher?
Dora Asher. Well, I think
back
it's
back in like 1905.
I think it's her married name, not her maiden name. But
there we go.
Dora Asher.
Something like that. But yeah, if people don't remember, because I was trying to get this back earlier, but you were talking about your brother's middle name. Ben works with me at Bosford Swinford Hall as an RA. Ben gotten into some hijinks with me and one of our other boys at the hall, Charlie. Enjoying ourselves over there, at least for the rest of the semester. We'll see. But yeah,
we actually all three of us took the same Ed High class.
We did, yes.
That's how we met Ben.
That is how I met Ben.
Back
when I just apparently did not talk to Ben.
Yeah, I notoriously believed that Andy hated my guts.
In Ed High? Wait, no, really?
Yeah.
Yes, no,
we loved you, Ben.
I was chill with Ben. Yeah.
You heard us on the pod. I was like, Ben Hamilton always comes in with two coffees.
Yeah. We did talk about that.
Yeah.
But then you forgot about who he
was. Fiend.
Well, I forgot about who he was. And then I remembered who he was, and then I talked about the coffee thing.
Yeah, that made me felt seen. For sure.
Okay. You want to get into some sports?
Yeah, let's get into some sports.
There we go.
Being the premier sports podcast.
Yeah.
3.5 minutes of non-sports talk.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. I think
for us.
If we keep it under 5.
We've done 15 of just nothing.
I mean, did you listen to last week's episode? The haircuts?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
You know what?
It was an interesting factoid.
They are getting to know us on a personal level.
Yeah, I'm glad. Good stuff.
Oh, this is a great episode.
Okay.
So I wanted to talk about this a little bit. You know, baseball season opening day isn't too far away, but it is still like far enough away to where we're not going to do a preview.
We'll bring Smeds on the pod when we get there.
Smedley will come on the pod for that. But I did want to talk about the baseball
World Baseball Classic,
which is pretty much like the World Cup of baseball. right?
Is it? I guess one could say.
I think it's the World Cup of baseball.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's very similar. Yeah.
World
Let's
is
go
in
with
the name, right?
Yeah, let's go with that.
World Cup of baseball.
I think it's just not as cool.
Little detour.
agree.
You think it's interesting that when football teams win the Super Bowl, they say world champions.
Yeah.
Is that like the assumption that no other football team in the world could beat them?
Correct, because I think that's also the fact. Do you think a team assembled in like Great Britain or Mongolia,
Thailand,
could go up against the Chiefs?
I think it is.
I
it is disingenuous for teams to assume that they can beat those teams without ever proving.
Well,
has ever an NFL team or an MLB team or any team that has declared themselves world champions after winning a North American title?
Technically, the MLB does play in Canada, so
I mean, technically, the NFL has a ton of games in Europe now.
Yeah, exactly, but they just don't play anymore.
But they don't play
on
European
the European team. So
okay, that's my soapbox for it. But I
understand what you're saying.
The World Baseball Classic won by Japan. They defeated the United States, which was kind of funny because the United States has the best talent level team, the highest paid team, the goodest of teams.
Okay.
Really trying to throw something else in there.
Yeah.
But like the United States had like the best team, but Japan.
Hopefully you write gooder words in your articles.
I write good words. I don't speak good words.
No.
I write good words.
Yeah, you got to think about it.
Talk good, write
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, you can't think before you speak.
There we
I never
go.
think before I speak.
My brain has like zero filter from my
Oh,
brain
I've come
to my
to
mouth.
be aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, Japan won. It was cool. Did you guys watch any of it at all?
I don't watch any baseball.
Wait, well, what is your beef with baseball?
What's your beef?
You've talked about this.
So
what's
lower?
up?
It's lower on our totem pole. I'll still
it-
watch baseball. I love going
It's
to
like
a baseball
3.
game.
It's like 3 on me
Yeah.
for sports.
3 out of what?
At it.
Like top 3?
Top
Oh,
3.
okay,
It's
okay.
number 3. Yeah.
It's top
Interesting.
5. Sorry,
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had many discussions about baseball, in fact, not being a sport.
Oh, yes!
yes.
This is
This
perfect
This
reason
is
to
why
have
I
Ben
saw
on the
Ben
pod.
Hamilton in the hallway.
Yes.
I said, "Hey Ben Hamilton, how you doing?"
Ben, let's take a quick sidebar. Sorry,
Not even a sidebar. We're talking baseball. Let's keep talking
Let's
baseball.
wrap up the World Baseball Classic super quick, but I want to get into that.
Oh.
So congratulations, America lost.
I thought it was really good
for Shohei.
that Shohei Ohtani, the best
Yeah.
player in baseball,
Yeah.
struck out his teammate
Yes.
Mike Trout.
Yeah,
to
that
win
was
the game.
cool.
It was really cool. It was a really good moment.
It's kind of like the whole Neymar Messi thing in the World Cup where Messi beats Neymar and goes
yeah,
on.
but
or
that
whatever.
wasn't this last World Cup. Brazil did not play Argentina.
Oh.
I don't think they did.
I don't know. Well, never mind. I'm stupid.
They did it in an earlier
Whatever.
Cup, probably.
Yeah. No. Sorry. Messi beating Mbappe because they're on the
There
same
you
team.
go.
Yeah,
There you go.
I did it.
Well, I'm pretty sure Messi beat
In
Neymar
in the championship.
No, in the Copa America.
Messi. Okay, whatever.
Beat
Yeah.
Neymar. Neymar.
But I was thinking
Neymar's
Neymar,
his Brazilian team.
I got Mbappe and Neymar mixed up. Okay.
Yeah, so- okay.
But it's the same thing as Mbappe and Neymar.
Yeah. It's the
They
same.
are
Or
basically
Messi.
the same name too.
Yeah.
I usually get those names mixed up all the time.
Mbappe and Neymar.
Yeah.
Very similar. Okay, but yeah.
Why
so-
do you hate baseball?
Yeah. So great job, America
Yeah.
got second place. Whatever.
Yeah.
Why is baseball not a
Time
sport?
out. One more quick sidebar.
Yeah.
That's how America treats international sports. If they win it, they will
We
the
won't
entire
shut up.
country will
Oh,
not
I'd
shut
be
up about
like,
it.
yeah.
But if we get a second, we go, oh, it
Yeah,
wasn't really
whatever.
that much of a
Who
competition.
cares? Yeah,
Let's go.
whatever.
Either way, why do you hate baseball, Ben?
I find it just incredibly boring. I don't
I get
understand.
that.
Like you're standing in your diamond and just whacking balls, right?
Accurate.
The most famous guy to ever play the game looked like he had just gotten off the couch to play it.
Babe.
Yeah, Babe Ruth, notoriously just smoking whole cigars and whacking balls out of the park.
Accurate. Accurate. Yeah.
We need to cut a soundbite of this for socials.
It's not. That's not a sport.
Now-
That's,
now, what
that's
is
an activity.
And now,
It's an activity.
Now, Ben, what is your criteria for a sport to be a sport?
Okay, so if you have to, so if you can wear like slacks and a belt to play the game, it's not a sport.
They wear a belt in football. How about that?
Not slacks.
They don't wear slacks.
So it doesn't meet the second part of that
yeah.
criteria.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I would consider the pants that baseball players wear slacks.
But they're elastic and stretchy.
Okay.
I'm
probably
100% confident that if you
though.
gave Mike Trout a pair of khakis, he would rip them in the first.
Because he's just huge.
Well,
If
yeah.
you gave him a good sized pair of khakis, he'd be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I slightly understand your thoughts.
yeah. Well, and also like they do run sometimes.
Yeah.
But a good amount of the time they're just kind of hanging out.
Yeah. You know, accurate. I mean,
He's got a point.
Yeah.
But I think, hey, there's enough physical activity.
I still think it's
I mean, like throwing that ball, like, come on, that's like the pitcher's a sport. Yeah,
There's impressive
The
technique
pitching and
involved.
catching.
This is
Technique.
a-
I think to maybe devil's advocate with your argument.
Yeah.
The pitching, the catching, and the hitting is a sport.
I think so.
And everybody else is just bystanders about 2/3 of the time.
Yeah,
I agree.
mean, I think that if
see
you
that.
took all of those things and put them into a different game, that would be a sport.
It's called cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
called cricket.
Yeah. I feel the same way about golf. That's not a sport.
Okay. I love playing
that's
golf.
a leisure activity.
I love playing golf. I've started watching golf more often. Really hard to watch.
yeah.
I think for me, for just how to define a sport, is there's some sort of competition of some sort, and I think there has to be competition and physical exertion.
So what we
I think
play
those
in
are
the
the
newsroom on Wednesday nights, where we throw a red ball around and see who drops it last.
Yeah, it's competition.
It's a
I mean,
sport.
you're trying not to drop the ball. You're trying to compete and be better than the other people, and you are physically throwing a ball. So like
Desk ball is what we call it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's a great sport.
Hey,
Technically.
watch it there.
Yeah,
buddy.
but
It's
like
good sport.
That's just my thought. Everybody's got their own different opinions, you know. Hey, and it's an interesting topic that I don't believe that we talked about on this podcast,
it's very good.
especially for a sports podcast.
Yeah.
So maybe
What
add
is a
slacks
sport?
to your criteria for sports.
Yeah.
What do you think about hockey?
Hockey? That's also not a sport. But
Whoa.
Whoa, that's
Wait,
well,
wait.
so here's the thing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that we call sports that aren't sports. Football, not a sport. If you have to wear armor to do it, that's a war.
Yeah, that's
so
I remember
actually,
that. Yeah.
Why-
so
why-
actually,
why is
hockey is
hockey-
a war.
What about basketball?
No, that's a sport.
sport, yeah.
That's a solid sport.
Okay, well, soccer.
Oh yeah, sport.
But you have to put on special cleats to play it. You got to put
That's
on.
not armor.
Those aren't
though.
armor,
It's not like
though.
protecting
That's
You
you.
have to
like-
wear shin guards.
Yeah,
Is that
your
armor?
shins,
if you're
protecting your
the
shins.
goalies,
Yeah.
the goalies in a war, everyone else is just having fun playing a sport.
What about ping pong?
You know what? I have literally never given.
You
a
can wear
thought to
slacks in ping pong.
Yeah.
You can wear slacks.
You can
Yeah.
They
wear slacks.
usually wear slacks.
I probably I
Yeah.
definitely
What about
wore
snow-
this.
So
snowboarding?
it's an activity.
Skiboarding, snowboarding.
It's definitely a sport.
Yeah, I would consider that a
Under-
sport. I
yeah.
mean, you're wearing like some kind of protective clothing, but that's like
They're wearing pads, so is that a war?
They're wearing a
War
helmet.
against-
that.
war between man and
never
snow?
mind. That's a
Lacrosse-
war. That is a war.
So,
Man
so
and snow?
snowboarding's a
Yeah.
war. Is lacrosse a war?
Yeah.
Yeah, lacrosse actually is
lacrosse
probably
is
more of a-
definitely
More a war than
Yeah.
any other sport.
I'm
What
gonna-
about
I think
I'm
hockey
pretty
is probably the most war.
what about swimming? Because you have to put on
Ice war.
goggles or you won't be able to see.
Yeah, I
Is it
see
more of a
that as more of a
technical war?
uniform. That's
But-
just part of like.
But it's required to swim.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's not required to swim, but like you can't swim without it.
Dude, you can swim without goggles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
can
not
swim without
fun,
goggles.
though.
Yeah,
You
Wow,
think Michael
And-
Phelps can swim without
I can
goggles?
walk
Yeah.
around.
I think
Well, like,
that
he
man's a
can't-
fish.
no,
I can
but do
walk
you
around
think
in the
he-
cold without warm clothing, but it's not fun.
Yeah.
You can still do it.
Walking around outside in the cold, not a sport.
Man versus cold. Boom.
So it's a war.
War.
What about cycling?
Cycling? I mean,
They have
you don't
helmets?
have you wear a helmet, but it's not like
I feel like
It's
in the Tour de
different.
France you have to wear a helmet.
Oh,
the Tour de
yeah.
France is a war.
Okay.
But anytime you're in France, you're fighting a war. So
So what's your favorite sport to watch?
Yeah.
Football.
Football.
I mean, it's a war.
Your favorite
it's my
war to
favorite
watch is
war to
football.
watch.
Yeah.
Is football. I guess basketball. I enjoy watching some basketball.
Have you been big into March Madness at least a little bit?
No.
Oh, have you been watching at least a little bit?
No.
Oh my God!
Did you
at
fill
least
out a bracket?
I filled out.
That's all we
There
need.
we go.
That's all we
Enough
need.
criteria to talk about March Madness. That was a good transition. I think so.
Yeah, I missed the first couple games and
Watch some games tonight.
and them being kind of like just a lot of upsets. I was like, well, I don't want to watch it anymore. You've ruined my
That's the
bracket.
whole point. You
One
love
shiny,
upsets.
one shiny.
It's called
moment.
March Madness for a reason.
Wait.
Now, yeah.
One shiny.
Nope. Okay, we're
moment.
stopping that. Stopping that. I'm not putting that in. But yeah, so March Madness, obviously we talked about it last week. We're going to keep talking about it because it's March Madness. It's March. It's basketball season.
It's almost the end of March.
It is sports season.
We only have a month more of school, guys.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
What the heck's going on there?
Almost done. Almost out of here.
Don't tell
crazy.
me that.
Yeah, but anyway, so March Madness obviously still going on. Last night began the Sweet 16 round. Couple upsets for me that was really disappointing. FAU beat Tennessee. And then I got my 2 games right at least. I do believe. Who won? Who won last night? I don't even remember because Michigan State lost to who did they lose to? Michigan State lost to someone. No one.
Michigan State lost
to Kansas State.
Yeah,
good for Kansas State.
I was gonna say that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Michigan State lost to Kansas State. UConn beat the brakes off of Arkansas after they literally just beat Kansas.
It was pretty ugly.
Seed.
I did have UConn winning, but it was pretty funny.
UConn beat by 30. There we go.
Yeah.
Now I remember all the games. And
pretty
then
bad.
Tennessee lost to FAU, which is surprising. FAU's in the Elite 8. But, I mean, hey, they won 32 games this year and only lost 3. And then big one for the night that massively screwed me over in my bracket. I had UCLA going all the way, and they lost to Gonzaga by 3. And they battled back. They were down 10 with 2 minutes left. UCLA battles back, goes up 1 with 17 seconds left, and then dude from Gonzaga pulls it from Jimmer range, wins.
It's a good game. It was a
Disappointing.
It was a really good game.
Did you watch?
I watched the last quarter.
Okay.
Well,
quarter.
Last 10 minutes
quarter
of the game.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
I have this huge thing. I hate the fact that college basketball has 2 halves.
I don't
not
have
4
an
quarters.
issue.
I think women's basketball is much more fun to watch, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, you're a big women's basketball guy.
Yeah.
So who did you have in the Final Four? Pull out your bracket.
Okay. So
quick update. In my Final Four, I have. Let me pull it out. It's called Hook'em.
Yep.
The Texas team is the favorite to win now.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. All the other teams that I had in the Final Four are not here. I had Kansas, Arizona, and Marquette.
Okay.
That didn't happen. But I still have Texas, and I still think Texas can win it all.
My Final Four was Arizona, Purdue, Houston, and UCLA. And obviously, Arizona, Purdue, and UCLA are all out at this point. Houston's still in, but I don't have Houston going to the final game because I have them losing to UCLA, which is really disappointing. Ben?
I had Alabama, Purdue, Xavier, and UCLA. So I still got 2 in.
Yeah, Xavier I think will probably lose tonight.
Probably.
Xavier will lose tonight.
Xavier is playing who?
Texas.
Okay, yeah. Xavier's done.
Hook'em. Switching it over to the women's bracket.
Yeah. I had IU winning it all.
I didn't have IU winning it all, but I did have IU in my Final Four. I actually got to watch IU in their final moments. It was a really great experience.
Yeah.
Really good story, actually.
Yeah. Could you talk a little bit more about that? Just like the fact that you got to go and just describe that whole thing.
Yeah, so I do freelancing for a company who the paper covers
Harold Bolton.
Yeah, the Harold Bolton
Shout
covers Madison County. I've been doing a lot of high school stringing for them, but there's the opportunity. CNHI Sports Indiana, which is the company that owns the Harold Bolton, wanted to send somebody to the IU games for the first 2 rounds. So I went. I covered their win over Tennessee Tech, a blowout. They won by 30, and then I covered their last-minute loss to Miami, which was.
Cavalier Twins are legit.
Yeah, the Cavalier Twins are legit. They were very good on the court.
They're not just TikTok.
I will say they trailed for most. IU trailed for most of the game, so it was a really tough game for them on the start. But I've covered a lot of sports already, and I've covered a lot of wins. I have not covered a lot of losses. Well, I've covered a lot of championship wins and big moments. I've never really covered a loss as tough as that.
Especially when they should have easily won that.
Especially when they were pretty heavily favored going in. But when you get to the NCAA tournament, they have locker room availability. So after the game, we go to the press conference, and the winning team comes in, or the losing team goes first. So we ask the losing team a few questions, and then there's also 30 minutes of open locker room time where members of the media can go to the locker room and ask players questions. Or if so, in a usual press conference, I will probably only get 1 or 2 questions in. And in total, there'll probably be 10 questions from all 35 journalists in the room.
Yeah.
So they have locker room availability if you're looking for a specific player or for specific story that the media team didn't provide. But they basically like that's locker room time, and they do it in most of the sports. But I've never done locker room availability because I never covered something as big as the NCAA tournament. But being in a locker room, like
you were actually in the locker room.
Yeah,
though.
like
that's
after the loss, it was tough. It was really tough, and
I
I detailed my whole lead around it. But like the player that I wanted to interview had like a towel over her face and she was crying, and then like 5 or so minutes later, I interviewed a couple other players, and then she was like okay to be interviewed, and talking to her, she spoke very softly, and it was her final game for IU, and she's one of the greatest players in IU women's basketball history, one of the greatest players in Indiana basketball history, Grace Berger. But
what class is Cindy Parrish in? Is she junior now, or
Yes.
she is a junior this year, so she'll be a senior next year, or is she a sophomore?
I believe she's a junior, going to be a senior.
Oh, dang. Okay,
but-
continue. Sorry.
But either way, really, it's a really surreal environment. And I actually, before I left, I apologized. I was like, I'm sorry, like this is how it has to be. But thank you all for giving us the time. I just felt so bad being in that room.
As an athlete, if I were to be in the athlete's mindset there, I would hate to talk to the media during that. You know, I mean, I know they give them their time to kind of just to chill after that whole.
Yeah, they call it a cooling off period.
Yeah, but like,
no, it's really
sucks.
tough. It's like that. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but by getting locker room availability and talking to the players, I was able to write a better story, a more compelling story.
It's also a good experience.
Yeah.
Great.
Like when I was in high school, we won our school's first district championship for boys soccer.
Yeah.
And we went to regionals, and the local paper came out and was going to do a story on the game because we had like done well. We got beat 8-0 in Michigan. 8-0 is the mercy rule, so we didn't even make it through the whole game. So I was crying, and all my teammates were crying because most of us, it was our last game.
Yeah.
And then I went over and I got interviewed by the guy who's actually still works at the local paper. He's a really good writer, but I was like, yes. Sucks, but I understood why they had to do it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's okay." But there's still a video on me on the internet, like through tears, giving an interview to this guy.
I'm gonna find it
Because
we're gonna throw it in.
I want to see this so bad.
he came over, and I was like, "Okay, he's gonna do the interview. It's fine." Then he pulls out a GoPro, and I was like,
He pulled out a GoPro.
I gotta wipe the tears out of my eyes.
Is that he pulled out a GoPro to interview you?
Yeah, he used a GoPro for the whole thing.
Huh?
It's pretty handy.
Yeah, that's a sick experience, though.
Yeah, the tournament was a pretty sick experience, but it's really
Assembly Hall especially.
Assembly Hall is very pretty. Beautiful arena. Sorry, off my soapbox.
Oh, no.
Who do you guys have in the Final Four?
For the
women's
women's.
side.
Oh, for the
Yeah.
Oh, I actually did not. So, funnily enough,
Yeah.
even though I find it far more interesting, I did not make a women's bracket.
Ben, but I will talk about Ben, though, has gone to his fair share of Ball State women's basketball games. Do you have any give me your thoughts or insight on the Ball State women's basketball just season, enjoying those
really
games
good
and stuff?
year.
Yeah, I think that they did extremely well.
Yeah.
I think they're probably not even probably. They're definitely better than our men's team, just in terms of like competitiveness.
Correct. Yeah.
And they're also way more aggressive.
I can see that.
They will like throw down on the court. There was that great picture that I think it was the women's basketball like Instagram page. For us had like Allie Becky
Allie Becky's just a different
squaring
animal,
up
man.
to
I'm telling
somebody.
you. Yeah. I know exactly what we're talking about.
It's an absolute monster on the court. Easily my favorite. Basketball player.
Like I was saying, I think it was either last week or the week before, but I said it on the pod. I think that men's basketball, especially at the college level, is very selfish. It's very
Well, yeah.
I want to score. I don't want to play as a team.
That's what basketball on the men's side is kind of becoming.
If you watched Ball State men's basketball last year under Whitford, who's the former head coach, it was hard to watch. Like complete hero ball all over the court. And then this year it's a lot better. I mean, Michael Lewis has done a good job technically with the team. He's also done a good job getting butts in seats. But I still think like men's basketball is a very individualistic centered sport. And I think women's basketball is just far more entertaining to watch, especially tactically.
Yeah.
No, I get you. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed all the games that I was able to go to for women's basketball. I think Allie Becky, definitely for for me at least. Is the most entertaining one out there.
Thelma
Zagasader slashing threes. Yep.
Yeah.
She set the record.
Yeah, she set the 3-point record.
All-time record?
Yep.
Single season?
Yep.
Yeah, all-time. Probably has a single
And
season.
I think single season as well, yeah.
That might be what it is. Yeah, I think it was single season. She broke it in the WNIT, and then she broke all-time also. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But she was really cool, and then Anna Kafane, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Well, give me your favorite basketball player for Ball State.
Allie Becky.
Allie Becky. Well,
Yeah,
we'll have a couple
easy
more years
Allie
of her.
Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a sophomore, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Couple more years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was saying that about Carson Steele, and then he left
Never mind.
us.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
let's be real.
Yeah.
We saw it coming.
Yep.
yeah,
But yeah, I reached out to him after he entered the transfer portal to maybe to bring him on the pod or get an interview or something. I can respectfully say I got left on red. He did follow me on Twitter though, so
Oh,
Hey.
that's nice.
you win some, you lose some. Some get
Yeah.
rained out. Final four teams, Andy. Since,
For women's?
Mr. Hamilton over here didn't get the memo.
Kill me, Ben. Kill
Obviously,
me, Ben.
you knew
I
you were
know.
coming on the pod, right?
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in advance.
Way in advance.
Yeah,
He
we
didn't
scheduled
just
it a
grab
month
you.
ago.
Yeah, I don't know if I said it already,
This
but
has been
I
scheduled.
was walking from my class in Letterman to the UML, and I saw Ben. I was like, "Oh, great to see you, Ben." He goes, said something like "love the pod" or "love the show," and I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
"You want to come on?"
Beyond the show, yeah.
I was like, well, I'm not going to lose this opportunity.
No.
I'll let my Taco Bell get cold.
Ironically enough, we have a microwave in the kitchen if you want.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, that's how most of our guests this year have come on.
Yeah.
John Kleemeyer, he was just hanging out.
Did
in the
John
UML.
was John been on
Yeah,
this
he was.
semester?
He was on last semester,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he was just hanging out in the newsroom. And I was like, "You want to come on the pod, bro?"
Yeah, he's like, sure.
So, I had Indiana, UConn, South Carolina, and Stanford in the Final Four, with South Carolina winning it all. I'm 50% still. UConn and South Carolina are still in it. I think UConn will beat Ohio State. I think they'll beat Virginia Tech. I think they'll go far.
I had Indiana, Duke, South Carolina, and UConn. If I were to redo it now, I think Iowa will probably make it to the Final Four with South Carolina there. Caitlin Clark is just her. She's insane.
Something else, especially
Do you know
this
who
post.
Caitlin Clark is, Ben?
No idea.
Oh,
Not
sorry.
even- yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
look her
up
up.
Caitlin- look up-
Fans at
yeah.
home, look her up.
Caitlin Clark
Especially-
can shoot from Curry range.
Especially-
She's insane.
Especially in the postseason, just flip
wild.
the switch another
Wild.
level. It's been
Yeah.
very
We need
entertaining
to
watch.
bring Zuber back on here to talk about Caitlin Clark. He is a Caitlin Clark super fan.
Yes,
He's insane.
We got a lot of Iowa fans. But
Yeah. But yeah, Caitlin Clark is probably one of the, if not the best player in the country right now, I would say, in women's basketball. She literally can just pull up from Curry range. She's insane.
she had a buzzer
Yeah.
beater to beat. Was it to beat Indiana?
Yes, earlier this
to
year.
beat Indiana earlier
Yep.
this year in the regular season.
Yep.
Really, really good moment. Zach Carter, if you've ever met him, he's a reporter in the DN.
Yep.
He was like, "It's a travel." I was like, "Well, they didn't
I-
call it a travel, so
Yeah.
it's not a travel."
That guy.
He's
That
got
guy.
some of the. We should have him on. He's got some of the best takes. Sorry,
Best,
takes.
worst takes.
Best takes to laugh at.
Yeah,
I love
no,
the
no,
guy,
no,
but
okay,
he thinks
yeah.
BK is like the best restaurant.
Oh,
Great,
Burger,
great,
like restaurant, like just
like
in
best fast
gen-
food
okay.
restaurant,
Ooh,
but
no.
still pretty low on the. Like, okay, hear me out.
Yeah.
Culver's, you can't beat it, can you?
No.
Is there a better fast food restaurant than Culver's?
Whoa.
I
Ben.
don't know. I don't really like going to Culver's. It's
Ben.
extremely heavy. Is the problem?
That's
I've got with
true.
it.
That is 100%. accurate.
My close second is Taco Bell. If that makes you feel
I
any better.
love Taco Bell.
My-
It's like poison, I think, actually, but it's so good.
My thing about Taco Bell is you can just like pull up to the window and you can order whatever. Like, I don't even look. I just find like random stuff that I've never had
Yeah,
before.
he's-
I was
I
like,
don't-
I'll get this and I'll get one of those and like that'll be it. Like, I'll be good. Baja Blast always washes it down.
Yeah.
But it all tastes like you know what you're getting.
Yeah, you're getting
But-
that quintessential
but-
Taco Bell flavor.
Quintessential.
I do think Culver's. Culver's made me sick once, and I still think Culver's is the best.
Wow.
So that's what I can say about it.
I threw up apple juice once, like when I was like 6, and I have not drank a drop of apple juice since.
But apple juice is really good, man.
I refuse to drink it.
One time I ate too much pizza, and I was jumping on the trampoline, and then I was like, uh-oh. And then I went inside, and
Ben, do you happen to have like a just a random like bio on the internet anywhere that I can look up?
Oh no, don't do this to us. Don't do this to us.
bio
Don't tell him.
on
Don't
the
give it to
internet.
him. Don't
Yes,
give it
give
to
it
him.
to me. Give it to me, Ben.
I'm not positive that I do.
Darn it. Okay.
The closest I'd probably have would be on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure that says there's like
he's trying to chat
trash down
GPT
here or
you.
something.
Did you listen to the raps we made last week?
I don't think I made it that far yet.
Fake fan. No, I was kidding. We do not.
I
we do
almost
not
always
care.
watch them a week late.
Yeah.
My dad is the only person who consistently will message me about the episodes, and it makes my day. Literally, it makes my day.
Yeah. So last week I used ChatGPT to make a rap about Daniel. And then I sang it. Or I sang it.
Go back and listen. It's going.
And then,
if you haven't, go back and listen to our episode.
And then
It's
another
a really
thing that
good
we
one.
did was we made a Ball State Christian rap.
It was like Ball
Yeah.
State being a Christian school.
One
It's
of
pretty wild.
one of the lines was from the Bracken Library to the quad. We spread our wings. We thank our God.
Damn, that's kind of metal, actually.
Yeah, it was good.
It
It was good.
Yeah. Throwing it back to MLB just for a second, they released the top 100 players in baseball, and I'm going to read off the top 10. And this is, Kyle Smedley can listen and let me know, and I'll put this clip on. I'll put this clip on Twitter to get him going.
Yeah.
But the top 10, I'm going to tell you if it's a hit or a miss. Number 1 player in baseball, Shohei Ohtani. That's a hit.
Probably
that's
accurate,
a home run hit. Number 2 player in baseball, Mike Trout. That's also a hit. That's
Accurate.
pretty solid. Number 3 player in all of baseball, Aaron Judge. That is a swing and a miss.
I don't know. I
That
think
is- that is a swing.
I don't know
criminal.
enough about baseball, but I would have picked Aaron Judge probably at 3. No?
That is criminal.
Who is better?
Manny Machado at number 4. I don't think he's 3, but he's definitely okay to be at number 4.
We're just going top 5, right?
No, we're going top 10.
Oh my God!
It's
Don't
going
do
to take
top
30
10.
more seconds.
Fine.
Freddie Freeman number 5. Okay, I really don't think he's done amazing things. Actually, he's done pretty good. He's been pretty good. I'll take that back. Juan Soto number 6. I think Juan Soto could be up there a little bit higher. Julio Martinez.
Never heard of him.
Big swing and a miss at number 7. It is criminal that he's at number 7.
Yeah.
Trey Turner, it's pretty good. Good pick.
Heard of him.
At number 8. Mookie Betts at number 9.
Definitely heard of him.
I think he's gone down a little bit, but I think he has the potential to be back in that top 5
Did you
conversation.
say that his name is Mookie?
Mookie Betts.
Mookie.
Number
M-O,
1.
like cookie,
Favorite.
but with an M.
They make him number 1.
He is-
Cookie, but with an M.
Oh yeah,
Mookie.
Ben,
That's
quick question:
amazing.
who's your favorite NFL player of all time?
Favorite NFL player of all time?
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a string.
how am I supposed to not say Peyton Manning, right?
No.
The only other one would be either Marvin Harrison.
Okay.
I said
Who is the
either,
random
it's
player
not
that you used to say all the time when I was like, "Who's your favorite NFL? Who's the best NFL player of all time?"
Nick Chubb?
Nick Chubb. Yeah.
Nick Chubb,
Just
Nick
for
Chubb
no
can squat a
reason.
car, though, so he's doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great running back.
Yeah, Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
Continue.
Real quick, Nolan Rondo at 10. It's okay. It's fine. But speaking of Peyton Manning,
Yeah.
longtime Colts legend at quarterback, but unfortunately the Colts do not have a quarterback right now. They will be looking for a quarterback in the NFL draft this year. So
Accurate. Yeah.
let's talk about the top 5 draft prospects.
Now,
in the
Ben,
NFL
this is an
draft.
area where you're a little bit more well versed.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Come on, I need some
That was good. That was good.
prospect
That was good. That was good.
transitions.
That was good.
Give me some.
You
Give
know,
me some.
That was so
our
bad.
our
What are we
transitions
doing?
get a lot worse when we talk the fact that we transitioned. I think we need to stop doing that.
Well,
Every time we're like, "Wow, great transition."
hey, we
You know what I
respect
realized?
good work here.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Never mind. You know what? We're that kind of podcast. We're gonna say
We're
what
Ball
do.
State's
We're
premier.
not doing it. We're not fake. This is real.
We didn't
Yeah.
become Ball State's premier sports podcast without doing what we do and doing it well.
And also
accurate.
claiming that we were. So.
Well,
Yeah.
you win some, you lose
Yeah,
some,
it-
and some get rained out.
You know, speaking of Ball State's premier sports podcast, I have no idea. There are some people that do podcasts here. There's one that does on something turnbelt under
exposed turnbuckle,
exposed turnbelt.
pro wrestling.
Yeah, they do a
Okay.
pro wrestling podcast every week for 2 hours.
they have the
How?
podcast
I
studio.
don't have that kind of time.
No,
It's Kyle and Corbin who
Yeah.
do great work. I've listened to the
Yeah.
episodes. Very good work.
Yeah.
Very in depth. Very detailed.
Yeah. But
I
how?
gotta respect it. I cannot stay that focused for
That's
2 hours.
crazy. Yeah.
No.
That's what I love about college classes being only 50 minutes. In high school, my college classes were an hour and a half. Or my high school classes
Yeah.
were an hour and a half. And then I took a college.
Whoa.
I took a dual enrollment college course that was 3 hours
Nope.
twice a
Not
week.
a chance. No.
It
Nope.
was my least favorite thing, and it was
Nah.
all online through COVID. Horrible.
No.
Okay. Either way,
No.
back to the smooth transition
Yeah.
into the top 5 NFL draft prospects. Actually, there's only 10. Let's do all 10 because,
Yeah.
5 of them you can really be like, oh, okay. So starting at number 10, Clayton Tune, Houston quarterback. He's number 181 on the big board, which means he is the 181st overall player.
You're talking. This is just QBs.
This is just QBs.
Okay.
So, but he's the number 10.
I've never even heard of this man.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
either.
I've seen him play. He's okay. I think he'll go late. Maybe even.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he gets drafted.
He might not get. Well, yeah.
I don't think. There's generally not 10
You get down to the
quarterbacks get drafted.
5th, 6th, 7th round, and
Dude, there's
stuff gets fun.
Yeah, whatever.
Either way, Clayton Tune.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's this is PFF, by the way, Pro Football Focus.
They're not always great.
I think they are the most accurate when it comes to draft speculation, though. Next up, the man, the myth, the low key kind of a. I was gonna say.
A bad word?
Yeah. He's kind of a mean guy.
Who?
Stetson Bennett.
Stetson? Nah, he's not terrible.
No, he was like
His
kind of
name
mean
is
to everyone at
Stetson.
the parade for Georgia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's 162 on the big board. He's like 26.
I will say, Ben and I's experience watching the national championship, that was boring. We both watched it in the foyer of Botsford Swinford. I think I've had. That's probably my least favorite championship experience of all time.
Yeah.
It was so boring. I did not enjoy myself.
Okay. I don't
yeah.
remember where I watched the national championship.
Dude, they lost by 65.
I think I watched it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it at home.
Boring.
I was home.
Boring. But yeah, honestly, though,
Michigan
credit,
TCU game was pretty bad, too.
Credit Stetson Bennett, though, for that. Wait, hold on. Stetson Bennett's below. Interesting. Okay, continue.
He's the
Continue. That's
ninth.
I'm
he's the 9th best quarterback.
That is interesting.
And he's
for me.
162 on the big board.
I would kind of honestly disagree with there. But
Next,
continue.
a little Derek Carr action. Jake Haener, Haener, Haener.
Okay. I don't think I've heard of him
Fresno
either.
State, little Derek Carr action.
yeah.
Fresno State always has got like
Yep.
one guy who's pretty low on the board, but like
He was
big,
at the draft.
big
Or he was
outs go.
combine, I mean.
Yep. Number 7 for you Purdue guys in the room. Aiden O'Connell, 131st overall on the big board. He's Purdue's.
This is an interesting list.
He's Purdue's quarterback.
Have
Have you guys watched him?
I watched some Purdue.
Yeah?
No. Big
Is he
IU
good?
family.
Your IU family, really?
Yeah.
Well, IU
There you
football's pretty
Yeah.
bad to watch.
I know.
Really cool stadium.
Well, okay,
I got
I
to see
guess-
their stadium when I went to cover
It's nice, yeah.
IU women's basketball.
It's
a
just no
great
one's- no
stadium
one-
for
no
a
one
really
sits there.
bad football team.
Yep. No one's there.
Well, I mean, we are mainly IU because my grandpa was like, he knew Bob Knight.
Oh, really?
So it is primarily basketball.
Your grandpa knew Bob Knight, like
Yeah.
close friends, or?
I mean, I don't think they were necessarily close, but
Yeah.
they were like
They knew each other.
other's names and stuff. You'd be like, oh,
Interesting.
hey, Dave.
Hey, that's sick.
Yeah.
I will
cool.
say, I love Bob Knight's treatment of the media sometimes. Well, sometimes I don't. Sometimes he was pretty mean. But if a journalist like asked him a bad question,
Yeah.
he would just like
He answered it poorly.
The example was like the guy was like, "What was the key to winning today?" And he was like,
We score more points. Yeah.
and like
points,
that
yeah.
was it. That
Yeah.
was the whole grow. Yeah, just if you were being a lazy journalist, he was going to make sure he got you for it.
Yeah.
Number
neat.
Number 6, a little bit of Tennessee action. Hendon Hooker
Whoa,
No.
I disagree completely.
as
Wow.
the 6th prospect.
No, he's better than whoever 5 is.
I would disagree, and
Okay.
we'll disagree in a minute.
Okay.
But 94th on the overall big board. I actually got to watch him play. He's pretty good. He's pretty electric, but he's got an ACL tear.
Yeah. Hendon Hooker was the quarterback for Tennessee. You knew that, correct, Ben, or no? Yes.
Off the top of my head, I wouldn't have known that, but that sounds correct.
picked
I
his
would
Sure,
take
yes.
his word for it.
Yeah.
But I think his age, injury, I think those are both really, really not great for him.
Don't want an ACL tear on your team, but hey, you know what? I'd take the.
He's still a
the
good
chance.
buy.
He's good.
And then the number 5 is Tanner McKee from Stanford.
Nope.
You've also never heard of him. Or
I've-
you're not unlike you heard of him. Have you heard of him, Ben?
What?
Have you heard of-
No, I haven't heard of this dude.
No.
I heard of him because
Yeah. Boo.
It's that time of year where instead of doing my work, I put on March Madness and do PFF mock drafts.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I don't understand why.
he's
Were you the one? No. That was Max Robson. Max Robson was doing that. He was able to trade away enough stuff to get every single pick in the first round.
Oh my.
In one of his
Yeah,
in one of
but
his
he has,
mock
like,
drafts
nobody on
for the
his
Packers. I know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think Tanner McKee's a really well-rounded quarterback. He goes really under the radar here.
Wrong.
You think he's not?
I don't think that he's above Hendon Hooker. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's you.
Yep.
That's you. I think you're wrong, but that's you.
Okay.
Next up, and we'll spend a little bit more time on these top 4 guys because these are the money makers.
Yeah.
Wait, real quick, who do you think the top 4 prospects are? Before I give what PFF says, who are your top 4 prospects going 4-1?
Okay. Go. I'm gonna go Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young.
Those would have been mine as well. The only possible difference would be Will Levis and Anthony Richardson.
Really, you think Will Levis is better than Anthony Richardson?
I think people would be more willing to take it on Levis than Richardson.
I understand that. If you're looking for somebody to start right out the gate, I think Will Levis is probably your guy more. But if you're looking for someone to develop a little bit, it's Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
So Anthony Richardson's the number 4 prospect, mainly because he's the kind of guy that needs to develop.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I'm thinking, as a Lions fan, we've done a lot of good moves in free agency already.
Yeah.
To square up most of our team. If he's there, if Will Anderson's already off the board, if he's there at 6, we should take him. And I don't think they will, but I think we should take him. Be that backup guy to Jared Goff for a little bit.
Fair.
Number 3 overall, C.J. Stroud.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
C.J. Stroud, who's being rumored as
the number 1 overall
Panthers'
pick.
number 1 overall pick. The Panthers sent 14 staff members to his pro day.
That's a lot. I mean, that is a lot.
Yeah.
And then Josh McCown, the QB coach. Do you guys remember Josh
Oh, yeah.
McCown?
Oh, yeah.
They did
Played for the Browns.
They did an NFL films on him. He's played for like 16 teams.
Oh, yeah.
He's played for every.
He's like Fitzpatrick
times
plus.
2.
Yeah, he's like
and a lot better looking,
Fitz
in my
plus.
opinion.
An important part of that,
A very
too.
important part. But
Quarterback
McCown, they were
coaches.
talking about courts or something about like playing basketball, and McCown was like, maybe once we get you down in Carolina, we'll find you a court. And I was like, okay, you're the quarterback's coach, but okay. So Stroud's at number 3. Will Levis is number 2.
Hold on, I just want to list off every single team that Josh McCown has been on.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it is insane.
pretty
It is
crazy.
literally insane. So Arizona Cardinals, Detroit Lions, Oakland Raiders, Miami Dolphins, Carolina Panthers, Hartford Colonials. Oh, man, he went down. And then he came back up, and then he went to San Francisco 49ers, Chicago Bears, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Cleveland Browns, New York Jets, Philadelphia Eagles, and Houston Texans.
How many is that total?
That
Just
is-
NFL teams.
Just NFL teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 NFL teams. That is over a third of the league.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Will Levis, who's been rumored to be the Colts' guy. How do you guys feel about that?
I hate it.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. Why do you hate that, Ben? I want to hear your opinions
Why do
on.
I hate that?
Yes.
Because I want them to take Anthony Richardson.
Why?
I love Anthony Richardson.
Why?
He's big. He's
Yeah.
physical. He
Yep.
can throw that ball
He can.
all the way down the
Yeah.
field. He could throw it end zone to end zone, probably. He's got a cannon
I don't
for
think
an
he can
arm.
do
I don't know if that.
No, he probably can. But
Yeah.
my point is, he's got a cannon of an arm, which means you get a fast receiver and you've got touchdowns.
But the Colts don't have a fast receiver.
Accurate. Yeah.
Okay.
They don't have a lot.
Get
actually.
one.
Draft one. Yeah.
Get one.
Ben, good
So
idea.
what picks do the Colts have? They have the number 4.
Yeah.
Correct.
What else do they have?
I'm not entirely sure. Let's look at this. Colts.
The Lions have 5 picks in the
Also,
top 100. Just saying. What?
Yeah, I know
with his 40 time, he might just be their fastest receiver. He'll throw and catch it.
All right, so the Colts have
done it.
the number 4 overall pick, the number 35 overall pick, the pick 90 or 79 from Washington in the 3rd round, 4th round pick 106, 5th round pick 138, 5th round pick 162, 5th round pick 169 overall from Dallas,
That's not even that good.
and then
Like for a team that's supposedly doing a quick rebuild,
it's
it's gonna take a lot more than quick.
Oh well, yeah, no, it's not a quick rebuild. It's a full rebuild. Yeah, it's not. We're not going to be winning a Super Bowl in the next 5 years.
No.
10 years.
10 is we're 5 years into the 10-year plan after Andrew Luck.
Once we
2029 we'll be
And
back.
how did that 5 years go? It was pretty bad.
poorly as any
pretty
rebuild
bad.
would.
yeah, a bit of a false start maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. But okay, so what about Will Levis do you not like? Would you want Okay. Here's my question. If the Colts somehow got the opportunity to draft, if this is just insane. If Will Levis somehow gets picked at the 1 or the 2, somebody just goes crazy.
Okay.
We have the opportunity to draft either Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, or Anthony Richardson. Of those three, who do you want?
Anthony Richardson.
Wow. So you want
want
Anthony
Anthony
Richardson over C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young?
Yeah.
That is.
See, okay,
completely
so
It's dumb. I'm so sorry, Ben. That's dumb.
So
But hey,
no,
that's what NFL think. That's what legitimate NFL players, teams, and scouts are thinking right now, though. So
right. Well,
Yeah.
so the thing is, Bryce Young is
Yeah.
small.
correct.
Uh,
So is Russell Wilson and Drew Brees.
and Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
But Kyler Murray's built like well, I guess I
Tank.
don't know if
No,
I can
he's-
say it that way. 'Cause,
I know exactly what you're going to
yeah.
say.
But he's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
a jacked dude.
Yes.
Bryce
So
is-
I'm
yeah,
not.
I
I'm
can
not
give it to
as
you.
worried about him getting injured as I would be Bryce Young because
Yeah.
that dude's like he's lean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but Tua was pretty lean too.
Yeah, and look
And,
at Tua
yeah.
Tagovailoa. That is a horrible. Tua was pretty lean
Yeah,
too.
Tua
He
was
didn't get
pretty
injured at all
lean,
ever.
and
Okay,
then
you want
he
to hear
got
two quick
brain
hot
damage.
takes?
Yeah. What? Give me.
Tua can still be an MVP.
Sure.
That
I
might
don't
not
know.
be.
I
That might
think
be a little warm. That might be like fresh out the microwave. But two,
it's like 45 minutes in the microwave, fresh. But
none of these quarterbacks are going to be franchise quarterbacks.
I absolutely hate that take.
No player taken in the
Hate
top
that take.
5 is going to be a franchise quarterback.
Hate that take. That is an awful take.
I don't think any of them are good enough.
Awful take.
I think that
This is the place where I
Awful
make
take.
awful takes.
Yeah.
I've made some pretty horrible
That-
takes.
that is one
But
of
I
them.
don't think any of these guys. Okay, sorry. Maybe not franchise guys, but like Hall of Famers, no, for sure. All-time
Awful
greats,
take.
probably not.
Awful take.
I genuinely don't think that any of these guys are going to improve their team right off the get-go. I don't think any of these
Peyton
guys.
Manning didn't even improve his team right off the get-go. They
yeah,
were terrible.
He had a horrible first season.
Trevor Lawrence didn't.
You didn't let me finish.
Okay, continue.
Or in the first 5 years.
I have to completely disagree with you. I think there are two that are going to be slam dunks, and,
And
that's
who
Bryce
are?
Young and C.J. Stroud.
I
Anthony Richardson is a maybe. I think Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud equate similarly to how I would say how Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields are right now, and then I would say that Will Levis and Anthony Richardson could be thrown into your I'm sorry, Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tagovailoa, and Justin Fields are your Bryce Young, your C.J. Stroud, and your maybe Anthony Richardson, and I think your bust is your Will Levis / your Zach
I
Wilson.
think it could be completely
I
opposite.
think that's how it's going to map.
I think
personally,
I think it could be completely the opposite. I think C.J. Stroud could be a bust.
No.
I think Bryce
No.
Young. Could,
I think he's
unless he gets like working out, I feel like Bryce Young is just going to be too undersized to be an NFL quarterback.
Everyone said that about Russell Wilson and about Kyler Murray and about Drew Brees.
No, they
but
weren't worried
look,
about Kyler Murray. There
Yeah,
was
okay,
the
not Kyler Murray.
there was
But
the
what- but I'm
conversation,
saying,
but
yeah.
there wasn't that much of the conversation. There's so
He's the
much
number one overall
conversation
pick.
about Bryce Young being undersized. I think C.J. Stroud goes number 1.
I just you're giving me Anthony Richardson. You think is the best QB prospect in this draft right now?
I agree with him.
I think Anthony
Just raw
Richardson
talent.
has. Yeah, I think that his problems are incredibly
Fixable.
fixable. Yeah,
Yeah,
he has very
I understand what
coachable
you mean.
problems.
Yeah.
Whereas like you can't coach someone into being taller
Yeah.
or more. I mean, I guess you can kind of coach them into being more muscular a little bit, but not like a ton.
Guy's going
I
to
just-
be on a protein plan.
I dislike how much people put emphasis on physical stature and attributes and don't look at results.
Timeout.
That's
Did
just
you or
me.
did you not 5 minutes ago
Yeah. What?
take a shot at Tua Tagovailoa for being undersized?
I didn't say no. I didn't say he was
Despite his
undersized.
accolades.
No, I said that he was injured all the time. That's the shot that I
He's
took.
injured all the time because he got a concussion. They put him back in.
That's not a size.
You
thing.
would
That's
you
not a physical
in the
thing.
conversation of being undersized.
No, I don't
you
think Tua's
put
undersized
Tua
either.
Tagovailoa in that conversation.
You did. I
No,
didn't say that.
I said Tua was undersized, but he did well. I
I said Tua got hurt.
Yeah, well, because the
Yeah.
conversation was about
feel like you're contradicting
people
yourself
No.
here.
being hurt because
Yeah.
they're smaller, and then
Okay.
we went to as
And then
being
you
an
said,
No, I said-
that's bad.
I think that was a poor one just to bring
Yeah.
up because he
Correct.
was injured, but it
Correct.
wasn't a
That's what I'm
size
saying.
issue.
I said it
But
was a
the
bad-
fact he
still-
was injured.
A bad example. How about that?
But they did talk about him being undersized pre-draft.
yeah, I did not know that.
And he's still a good quarterback.
I know, he
Still
is.
Yeah, I
a
agree.
franchise
I'm
quarterback
just-
in Miami.
I'm just saying. I think you need to look more on results than you need to look on whatever. I think that's why I think that Stetson Bennett should be ranked higher.
Nope.
That's why I think that Max Duggan should be ranked higher. That's why I think that
you could.
Yeah.
I think is Max Duggan.
Max Duggan wasn't even on that list.
I think he's returning.
No, he's coming. He's declared for the draft. Yes, he was at the combine.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. So he worked out the combine. Did not go well.
Well,
but
that's probably why.
But I think that people put too much emphasis on physical attributes and don't look at success and skill.
Stetson Bennett isn't undersized.
No, I'm not saying
you could put virtually any.
I'm talking about.
You could put virtually
success.
Okay, I'm saying you could put virtually any quarterback in Stetson Bennett's position. You could put Johnny Manziel in Stetson Bennett's position.
Well, yeah, of course, Johnny Manziel was goated.
And Georgia still wins national
college.
title. You could put Aiden O'Connell in Stetson Bennett's position, and they still win a national title.
You think so?
100%.
I don't know.
100%.
I don't know.
The offense is great. The offense is whatever. What makes that Georgia team is that defense. What makes the Alabama team is their discipline, both offensively and defensively. Georgia, it's just a defensive unit.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. But different philosophies, though. This is something that there's every scout has different philosophies, and you never know what they value more.
Yeah, they always say the intangibles. You know what that means? We don't know what we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, I think at the end of the day, Frank Reich is going to choose somebody that he believes will not be as much of a project, and two, something that he could be concerned about and not pan out, which I think Anthony Richardson is kind of an up in the air kind of thing. If you don't get him right, then you're kind of screwed.
It's a risk.
You got to risk.
You got to put him in a good system.
And Frank Reich is his first year.
Fairness, the Colts don't have.
Yeah, the Colts don't have that. Correct.
Yeah.
And especially if we're gonna imagine. Okay, so this is a possibility. This is probably the best possibility of what's going to happen right now. We draft Anthony Richardson. Okay, our quarterback room is Sam Ehlinger, Gardner Minshew, and Anthony Richardson. Who is starting week 1?
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah,
Gardner Minshew.
That's awful.
The return of the stash,
terrible.
bro.
Also,
I don't think Gardner Minshew's that bad of a quarterback. I think you've given him a lot of crap.
Dude, those Eagles games did not do well.
Yeah, but
it showed you how good Jalen Hurts was, though.
Yeah,
but he looked really good in Jacksonville.
Yeah, but it's not. So Nick Foles looked really good on the Eagles, and he looked terrible in Jacksonville. So I mean,
it's all about the situation.
It all matters. Yeah, but continue. What were we gonna say, Ben?
Well, I don't know why, but when I look at Gardner Minshew, I feel like he's just mega racist.
It's the mustache and it's the hair. Yeah,
he
was in Jacksonville for a while.
He's got the vibes of someone that's like
he's spending.
I don't think he
extremely.
No, I don't think he is, but he does.
I doubt it.
I mean, he spent a lot of time in Duval County.
Yeah,
he's got that vibe. I know. Yes.
Oh, that's funny. That made me laugh.
Yeah. I understand. You're. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
But what I was going to say, I'll continue with that Frank Reich talk, and with him as the head coach of the Panthers, when clearly they've gone to the number 1 pick because they want someone, and I think that he wants somebody that is not going to be a question mark or a concern or a project, and I think that's why he picks probably C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young.
Okay,
I think either one is a sign dump for him.
So that top 5, let's just do the top 5 or the top 4.
Oh,
Tanner McKee, I don't really care about.
Yeah.
Let's do the top 4: Richardson, Stroud, Levis, Young.
Yeah.
Realistically, where do you think they each end up?
Play next year. Okay. You know what? Honestly, I kind of need to. I want to look at the draft order here. Let's look at that.
Yeah.
Draft order 2023, because I think I know where the first year going to go, but I honestly don't know where Will Levis is going to go.
We should put in some Jeopardy music. Like
okay, so
here.
we got it. We got it here.
No,
I got it pulled up.
That would have been funny though.
Okay, we got it. All right.
So
the first pick. So the first pick is the Carolina Panthers from Chicago. For me personally, I'll go then Ben then you. All right. Sure. Okay. So Carolina Panthers first overall pick. I think that they take Bryce Young.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Well, actually, no. You know what? That would be my number 1 overall pick, but I think they'd probably take C.J. Stroud. Let's go with C.J. Stroud.
Realistically, who do you think? Like,
C.J. Stroud.
If you're predicting the future.
If I'm predicting the future, C.J. Stroud.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, Ben?
Oh, sorry. So am I doing also round
of
1?
the 4, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I think it probably is C.J. Stroud.
Okay. And Daniel?
I think it's Stroud, yeah.
Okay, all right. Houston Texans. I think the answer here is Bryce Young. Ben?
Yeah, I don't think that they would be taking someone, or I don't think the Cardinals are going to want to take another Kyler Murray. So I would probably agree that if anyone was going to get Bryce Young, or not, yeah, if anyone was going to get Bryce Young, it would probably be the Texans.
Yeah.
I think, honestly,
You could see Anthony Richardson?
I could see, because Houston doesn't want to win now.
Yeah.
No matter who they draft at number 1, they're going to be like, we're going to take a year or two with this guy, which makes it possible.
And Davis Mills is a suitable guy.
He can fill in while they're figuring it out.
He's a Jared Goff kind of guy.
Whoa there.
Well, he was what a Jared Goff was originally intended to be.
Yes,
There
Jared Goff is doing really, really well.
Now Jared Goff is kind of found another level, but yeah.
Top 5 quarterback in the
You know what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I think it is possible for them to take a guy like Levis or Richardson.
I don't think they take Levis, but
I think
Richardson
it's more
could
like
definitely be.
I will say they take Richardson at 2.
Yeah.
Because they're
It's
like
interesting.
They'll probably have a high draft pick next year too.
Yeah.
They have a little bit of time. They have a little bit of rebuild. The good thing about being a terrible team like that is you're like we can plan for the future really well. So I think they take Richardson with the understanding and the caveat that this is going to take a while for him to get to NFL speed. Number 3?
Number 3, I think, or at the 4 spot, which is because I think the Arizona Cardinals take who's the number 1 guy for what's his name? Who's probably the best non-quarterback in the draft right now?
Will Anderson.
Thank you. Yes, Will Anderson. I think they probably take him. So the Colts obviously are in need of a quarterback. I don't think Arizona takes one. I would probably, with Houston taking Bryce Young, I would say the Colts probably draft Anthony Richardson here. And then Ben?
I don't know. I feel like they're gonna take Levis,
which would suck.
I really don't want them to take Levis, but I feel like the Colts are probably gonna take Levis.
I can see that.
I think that the Colts trade with the Cardinals for the number 3 pick.
Yeah,
and they take their top prospect, which is going to be whoever is the top quarterback available, which in my draft so far is Bryce Young.
Which would be that is a dream scenario for me. That is an absolute dream scenario for me. If I really, really, really want either Carolina or Houston to reach and draft Anthony Richardson, that's just me.
What are you doing for the draft? Do you want to watch it?
Huh?
What are you doing for the draft?
Sure. Yeah, why not? I don't know where I'm going to be or what even day that is.
We should do a live podcast during the draft.
Ooh. Yeah. I really, really want that to happen. I really want someone to reach and take Anthony Richardson, and I would love for us to get Bryce Young. But I doubt that Houston. I know 100% the Panthers won't. They'll take either CJ or Bryce, and then maybe Houston is the only one that could possibly reach and grab one. If they grab Will Levis, I'll cry laughing. That'll be so funny. That'd be so funny. But then watch Will Levis become the next Josh Allen, and I'll be looking like a fool. So whatever.
Josh Allen is still not
4th pick,
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's true. You're right.
Sorry.
What? 4th pick. So I think
I don't care. I'm not a Josh Allen fan.
So the Will Levis, I don't think Seattle takes him. I don't think Detroit takes him either. I think he probably goes to the Raiders. I think the Raiders are looking for another quarterback. I think the Detroit and Seattle has other things they could focus on. Seattle's just locked up Geno Smith for a long-term contract for a little bit. Detroit, I think you guys are going to rock with Jared Goff. I don't think you guys really need. I think you're in a win now mode at this point.
I think if Richardson is available, we take him. But if he's not, I don't want them. I
don't think he will be.
Yep.
So I don't really. They have a 6th overall pick. I do not think they're needing to prepare for the future. I think it's more of a win now kind of thing. I think Jared Goff is suitable. I think you guys pick somebody else. I mean, what are you weak at right now? What do you think? Like wide receiver, maybe?
Yeah, I think well, we have Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
Who this should be his breakout year after coming back from injury last year. We have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is just
so maybe not
phenomenal.
So maybe something on D. But
I think the Lions will go defensive, and I think they'll either take. I honestly was thinking with the 6th pick they take somebody to beef up the secondary.
You can maybe take a tight end there.
I do not think you should draft a tight end in the top 10. We did that before. It was a bad idea.
Hey, who knows?
But I think so. Everyone was saying, well, their focus is on the secondary.
Yeah.
Well, they beefed the heck out of the secondary already in free agency. So I think they're going to take the best available defensive player. I think up with the 4th pick, the Cardinals take Will Anderson.
Yeah.
I think with the 5th pick, Seattle takes Christian Gonzalez. And I think with the 6th pick, they take the best defensive player, and it's Jalen Carter.
That's who I was thinking of before. I think possibly the Cardinals get Carter.
I mean, that's the worry.
That's that. I was thinking of like it was Clark, Carter, Chark, something like that. It was Carter. Thank you. Yeah. I need to do more research because I remember last time my whole big flub of Malik Cunningham, or not Malik Cunningham, not Malik Cunningham, Malik Willis and Zion Johnson.
That was funny.
Two completely different individuals.
Really
I thought that was dumb.
Time out. You guys want to go back a year to when Malik Willis was like when he got
everyone thought he was goated.
Yeah. And they were like, he's going to be a
not
guy.
Great. Yeah,
he's just a backup.
He's just
in
not
the
great.
NFL. Whatever.
But yeah, so I think that Will Levis goes at 7 to the Raiders. Ben,
because who do I have left? I've got Anthony Richardson still.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Seattle wants any quarterback.
I think in that scenario though he might go to Detroit.
Well,
yeah, I think if
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe Seattle, but I forgot about Geno Smith.
Yeah, Geno. I think
I thought
Geno
they were rocking with
it's
Drew
easy to
Lock,
do.
and I was like, yeah.
I mean, Geno's.
They write him off. He don't write back.
He's good. Yeah. Hey, we're still writing him off somehow. I'm not. You know what?
I'm not.
There's a 0% chance Geno's listening to this, but hey,
Geno, we got you.
But hey, Geno, Andy likes you.
Yes,
I
like you, Geno.
We all like you.
I didn't for a brief period when I didn't think you were even in the NFL anymore, but you're back, and sorry. Public apology to Geno Smith
and that was
for forgetting who you were
bad.
for a brief period.
All right,
and then where's Lil Levis going?
I think you might be right with Raiders, but
Yeah.
I also think he can drop down
So Falcons
to
to Eagles, not the Eagles, Titans.
I think the
not
Titans
Titans.
could take him.
Texans again.
No, the Texans take two quarterbacks. The first round.
Jets.
If the Jets can't
Patriots,
work it out,
Patriots. There you go.
if the Jets can't work it out for Aaron Rodgers, the Jets could take him. The
Yeah.
Pats could take him.
There you go.
You know, it's all
Yeah.
it's all a fugazi. You know.
You know what?
Whatever.
We just hit the 1 hour mark here.
We're wrapping it
Yeah,
up.
I'm wrapping it up. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed Ben in the studio today. Ben, did you at least have a good time?
I did. I enjoyed
Good.
this immensely.
Thank you very much for
yes.
joining us, Ben.
Yeah.
Let the people know where they can find you on socials.
Yeah.
If
If you want to. If not,
I
If
mean,
you
we'll leave it
just be like,
ambiguous.
yeah. You find
well,
him.
Funnily enough, ambiguous is part of my Instagram handle, ambiguously gum.
Yep.
That's where you can find me on Instagram.
I think I knew that from when you followed
Ambiguously
me.
underscore
But,
gum.
okay, wait,
Yeah.
real quick. We'll take another 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Why that
Yeah.
name?
I am interested. Yeah.
Someone had like this like Mentos gum thing, and the way that they looked, it looked like just like a chewy candy, but it was gum. Like a gummy candy kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
It looked like one of those, but like a little bit sour, but it was gum. And I was like, okay, that's ambiguously gum, and then I was like, you know what, that could be a handle on Instagram, and it is.
You know what? That made my day right there.
My two favorite Instagram handles of all time are ambiguously gum, Ben Hamilton, and Carl the Hog, Jack Van Meter. Yeah. You know exactly what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
too. Why?
Yeah.
And his profile picture is a groundhog. Don't know.
Andy and I are just our names.
Yeah. Newman 1863. I think that's great.
Daniel
personally.
Keene.
Yeah.
First and
wow.
last name.
How creative.
How creative
Yeah.
of me.
Yeah.
Yep. Make sure you follow the UK Sports Pod on Twitter. I think it's knuckleheads.sportspod on Instagram.
Yep.
And every Friday around 2:00.
I guess we're hitting that mark a little bit more.
We're hitting that mark.
Yeah.
So
Somewhere.
join us on the live and come hang out.
Ben, appreciate it once again, man.
Yeah, really
thanks for
appreciate you
having
coming
me.
on. Love the spontaneousness of it.
Of course.
And as always,
Underqualified Knuckleheads country, let's ride.